find her jeans from a previous day. Grab the keys from off the counter, commuting to the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, why you sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
Certainly has done you good. You look like a child. Well, thank you very much, Arthur. I've been very lucky down here. Feeling better than I did up north.
Collars itching, face is twitching, another cup of joe and I'm fine. Come 5, I can burn a fresh dime, lifting up the burdens, putting weight on my mind. Bet if I didn't chase that and embrace distractions, master my lack of faith and break through. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, why you sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm holding out as I fight. I feel my colors wash away. Been finding my ground in the light of the hours I can't claim. 'Cause in time I restore my complexion and find that I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, why you sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof. that's so overrated. Yeah, if you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah, there's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground. So
Hello and welcome, ladies and gents. I hope we're all doing very well on this fine evening. It is day one here at ECL. We've already had Asia, we've had EU, and now we move on to South America. My name is Nerika. I'm joined by Hayes today for this one to kickstart South America with two pretty interesting teams, dude. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I am as well, man. Keen to set the tone here going into season 49, the opening day for ECL. We get a kind of an early idea of what we can expect. And it's always important to start the season strong as well, because it kind of dictates the direction. And you don't want to have to recover at the tail end of it. Also, for a team like BESTIA, I mean, they're coming off the back of a hot end of 2024, so they want to start off with a bang here in 2025.
Exactly. They've got kind of a lot to prove that they are still kind of a top-ranked team, especially from their region as well. This is the format. Most of you should sort of realize how it works. It's pretty, simple stuff, all in all. And the way I kind of explained it when I was doing EU earlier today, it may look confusing. I'll make it not confusing. Win your games, you win, you go to Pro League. Lose your games, and you're done. That's all you really need to know.
I guess you could boil anything down to that finest form, right? Basically, top 10 is where you absolutely have to find yourself. Outside of the top 10, there's no chance of making it through to the playoffs. Ideally, top 2, because then you have an even better seed in the playoffs. You start off in like the second round of the upper bracket kind of thing. Do get a look at the prize pool here as well, $60,000, the total prize pool. But of course, like you referenced there, most of these teams in pursuit for that spot at Pro League.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of hunting for here. That Pro League spot makes such a big difference. It's, I think, a very big opportunity, especially for teams who maybe actually traditionally wouldn't have the chance. We're talking, basically wouldn't get the invite via VRS ranking. It's actually a good opportunity.
Yeah.
I think previously, and this is kind of the issue what I had with ECL in the past, is we've had teams sort of coast through ECL at times because some of them would know that they're getting a kind of basically a guaranteed invite regardless because of their ranking, because of all the tournaments they were playing. That's now not the case in some cases, but this is also a prime opportunity to get a wildcard invite to Pro League if you are a team that traditionally wouldn't be getting those VRS points. And, if you get towards Pro League and put up a fairly decent showing, it can skyrocket you. We saw it with teams like M80, for example. We've seen it in the past with a couple of the EU teams who've kind of come in there. 3D Max is always a team that I look for. Sangal as well. Sangal won ECL two seasons ago. Made a deep run in towards Pro League, and look where they are now. I mean, that core, of course, is now at Heroic, and they are at every Tier 1 event. So getting that Pro League spot, it's so important.
Yeah, game changer, right? You just get to kind of rub shoulders with the best in the world and show the whole world what you're actually capable of and who you are. But you have to fight for that spot. A team like BESTIA, they placed third in season 48. They just narrowly missed out at that spot at Pro League, and they're going to want to go one step further this season. But that's not going to be easy. However, maybe we can break down this particular match a little bit more. BESTIA versus Tropic de Taco, and we do have a veto here for our opening map.
Yeah, we're going towards Ancient. I like this as well. It's a bit of a hard series to read into because we don't really know what to expect from the old Tropa do Taco lineup. Of course, there's some notable names there, in particular being that Taco, but we don't know. I mean, for me, I'm really unsure whether this is a team that actually are vying for an organization, or if this is just a bit of a mix and I'm hoping things will kind of, pan out and maybe something might work out for them. So I don't know what the commitment level is like with the practice, like the scrims and all the rest. But we're heading towards Ancient. And I think these days for me, Ancient's turned into a really kind of fun, puggy map. It's one of my favorite maps in the pool to watch.
Yeah, you and me both. I just love the balance between the CT side and the T side. I think it offers a lot of versatility and diversity. It's a map that you can be very active on as well. Yeah. Multiple different options on both, like I said, T side, CT side. For me, that's where you get the most entertaining games, where both teams are kind of they want to take initiative on both sides of the map. It's I think that's what really adds to it, is it's constantly back and forth on either side of the map. Like I said, lots of different options that you can bring to the table as well. BESTIA really did enjoy playing Ancient. That's an app they were very competitive on. We saw them have some good results on Ancient towards the end of last year. They actually beat two of the teams you referenced, M80 and 3D Max. Yeah. That was at the Thunderpick World Championship in the online portion of the event. So if they can carry that form over into the new year, I think Taco's team could be in some trouble here.
I think you're right. I think there's a world in which this could actually be quite lopsided. At least on paper, it should be lopsided because of, like we mentioned, what this side have to prove in that BESTIA. But of course, there's a man on the other side, that Taco, that we wanted to highlight. Now, Granted, he's not the numbers man on this team. He's the guy kind of calling the shots. He's the guy who's going to try and be a bit of the glue. And, of course, primarily the experience, too. But this Tropa the Taco roster isn't bad. And Taco actually has some decent pieces to work with here. Ponta, he's played at the Americas RMR.
Yeah.
I was there casting when he was part of Odic. And I actually thought he had a really nice couple of moments. VSM has been around for ages, right? And this is, you know, a guy who's kind of actually always been really solid mechanically, but maybe just not always at the kind of the super opportunities at the top. But I played with teams like Fluxo, for example, in the past. Max playing a few years Academy too. Farias is actually one of the new names that I actually haven't had the chance to cast. So this Tropa the Taco roster, he's actually got some decent pieces to work with.
Yeah, and I think he's actually been able to kind of handpick the players that he's with in this team as well. He's obviously at the helm of it. Just talking about VSM briefly, I mean, he was somebody I was so excited about watching in 2023. Think about that Fluxo team, you know, alongside Leo DRK, and Woody was in the mix there as well. You would have even had Phelps in that team at one point, and they were cooking with gas at the start of 2023. They were winning all those CCT events in South America. I think they won like the first 4 of them. But unfortunately, he just kind of tapered off. Like, I thought there was a world in which he might be able to play himself into like a maybe in contention for a spot in Furia or MIBR or one of the Imperial teams or something like that. But yeah, things just didn't really go in that direction for him. He still has his moments. He's a solid player, but I don't think he's at the peak he once was.
Yeah, I think you're probably all right. I think it's sort of a... not kind of a has-been in that sense, but at least still has a bit of an ability. But I think when I look at this kind of Tropa the Taco roster, I feel like for me, it's VSM and Taco are the slightly aged players in the team who are essentially there to maybe build up these new talent. Like, I'm interested to see kind of what Ponta looks like, probably with a little bit more freedom than he's had in the past. Same with Max as well, for Rias, a guy that I've not had the chance to cast. So it should be interesting. But I think if we're being honest, we've built up this Tropa the Taco roster quite a lot, but on paper, this actually should be one-sided. Thomason on the other side, incredible talent. Luchov has some really nice moments. Noxie's been around for ages as well. New guy of Pank coming in towards the roster too. This is a Bestia side who are actually now in the point where they're vying for tier 1 LAN invites. They're kind of, getting to the point where actually maybe even ECL is getting to the point of being maybe slightly below them.
Yeah, I mean, they've really pushed the envelope throughout the second half of last year kind of thing, and they've made a name for themselves that they're not just like wanting to contest within their region anymore. Like you said, they want to transcend South America and start to rub shoulders with some competition in Europe more regularly. And they did make a roster change as well, right? They had Zoc in the team last season. They brought Pank into the mix now. And that's, I mean, quite surprising. I didn't expect him to go with, I don't know if Pank maybe does speak Spanish as they do in Argentina.
I'm assuming,
Of course, normally Portuguese in Brazil. Either way, you know what? We don't have to ask too many questions, because now we're going to get some answers as we jump into the action here. Bestia starting T-side, and it looks like they're just going to go for a brute force approach here with the pistol.
All right, let's get things underway. Max playing up close as well. The dual leads looking for a couple of kills, and he goes 1 for 1. Not bad, and a response coming through quite quickly to catch Thomason. This is a quick pistol. We are underway here. Back into a 3 versus 3 as Luchov gets 1, but Taco does well.
Yeah, I like that he doesn't really allow for them to settle on the bomb side. He's been able to earn the man advantage before the bomb inevitably goes down, so it's going to make the retake that much easier. Luchov and Nocte both have at least been able to get back to some decent post-plant positions, and there's a flash here for Nocte. He's lined it up. He's going to throw it for Luchov to peek off of. 2 players completely blinded. He's rattling off the shots, but he can't connect. That was the moment. There's surely no chance now for Nocte. It's going to be Taco to clean up with 3, and it's going to be his team who open up with the first round.
Yeah, not a bad way to sort of lead by example. I'll take it all day for Taco. It's a wild pistol, and this is kind of actually quite beautiful. I mean, this is my 4th series of the day, right? So I've had a lot of Counter-Strike today, and, I love it. I'm here for the long haul, and, I've done a variety of, I did M80 earlier, of course, North American team. I did a couple of EU teams as well with Sashi, with, can't remember who beat them now. 500 from Bulgaria, and then earlier did EU with Citizen Paravision. So I got a real variation of styles of play. The beautiful thing actually about South America is, win or lose, they are playing for the most part quite quick, in your face, relying on the mechanics, and it's actually just quite refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, the entertainment factor is always there when you're watching South American CS. And I mean, you can just expect that. You can't expect much with South American CS because nothing really goes according to plan, but you're going to get entertainment in heaps. Oh, nice boost up there. Like that. Taco also forcing the issue as well. Need to make sure they don't overstep the mark here. Luchov waits for the flash, and they will at least be able to get a kill, but it's still advantage for the CT side here.
All right. Max, VSM, combining well and seeing it off. So there's a moment there that felt a little potentially on edge, but upgrades weren't able to do all too much. It was an expected buy to come through because of that bomb plant, that's for sure. But
yeah, sure.
they would have loved another bomb plant behind it just to then facilitate another reinvestment here. They're not going to get that. It looks like we're going to... Thomason was tempted by the AK. Yeah, it still is there. I mean, he's bought it, now it's dropped, so you have to use it. So we're going to have an AK worked. It's going to be Naz who picks it up. And then, so BESTIA have, you know, it's some level of a buy to work with on their side. It's just sort of what kind of buy we're actually going to get here, because the support round is probably going to be pretty minimal.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the one hero AK here. I'm a big fan of the hero AK, but I'm just thinking back to the previous investment from BESTIA. It kind of looked like one of those forces on the T side where you don't actually get the bomb plants in the pistol round that you lose, because it was mostly just pistols and utility, obviously prioritizing util over firepower. But I think if they just had like one Galil there or something, that could have made a difference in terms of the fights that they were offered up. Just felt like they were actually lacking a decent weapon to work with.
I'm with you. Look at this. Quick play.
There we go. More pace. Yeah.
Ponta, what have you got for us? They're going to go through the flames here. Dropping a smoke on top of it. Swing and a miss for Pank. But Naz there in the trade and making that AK sing. So now we've got a FAMAS picked up. We can get a bomb out of here.
Yeah, problem is the bomb was left in spawn, mate. And Nox has had to go back to recover that. And now he's worried about actually pushing through with his teammates in case someone comes down elbow. Realizing that if he dies... Oh, is he timing out?
Oh, no.
Never mind. He's good. Okay, he's just jiggling. He's good. All's well. But he realized if he pushed forward there and he gets killed in the back, bomb drop, that's round over. And he generally is a fairly conservative player, trying to now sell some audio cues, faking as though they're rotating back to B. And I mean, they picked up a Farmacia as well. They still have a Molly on Nocta, Desert Eagle rather on Thomason. So there's a few pieces here for BESTIA to work with. Tropa and Taco have to proceed with caution.
Oh, Max gets one, gets out, looks for a second, and Naz just pins him against the wall. What a shot. Nox, you're going to get a Glock shot as well. Glocks. Come on, guys. Let's not be silly now.
Surely not, right? I mean, they've got the man advantage now. Decent amount of time on the clock. They're going B, and it's actually only VSM who's here right now. He's going to hear the footsteps. He's been spotted out. He will at least force the fight on the first. And, well, a little bit of a disconnect between Nocta and Naz. It looked like Naz is actually going to go back through Donut. This is all around the world from BESTIA. They're racking up all the steps on their Fitbit right now.
What
10,000 steps for who, mate?
Yeah, what is going on?
Oh, he's going back again?
What's the call by
They've actually sold it. It's actually worked perfectly. This is calculated to perfection.
Oh my god. I think some people would call this calculated chaos, it feels, because it is so chaotic right now. But yeah, we've got a bomb plant out here and a 2 versus 2 opening up. And there's definitely something brewing. We're going for a very passive post one, but I like it. It's probably the standoffish approach that could work if we hit the shots. No, Naz. That was the one. That was the easy one. The other two were much, much harder.
Yeah, that was a free frag right there. There's no kids in play for the CT side. Time of the essence. Bomb already halfway gone here. Taco's going to have to stick the defuse and hope that VSM can cover him first. Frag found by VSM, and he'll lock it down for the second as well. Oh, man. Naz is going to be kicking himself. I mean, you know, on paper, great result for BESTIA getting 3 kills and a bomb plant in their eco, but they probably feel like they should have won that round.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, it really, again, felt like there was going to be, you know, nothing behind it, but how have Tropa the Attacker walked away with that? It felt like it was one and done, and I think for me, it feels like BESTIA kind of slightly overcooked it. I think they had all these ideas. It was probably, I can imagine the comms just being so cluttered there.
Oh, chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just tell in the post-spawn too that they were so disjointed. So, in the end, it will be a 3-0 start. BESTIA come back in with the bye. We've got Noxian towards the AWP, and he gets a leg shot. Really unfortunate not to get the kill there, but he needs to be careful not to get caught.
I still like the way he's actually playing the situation. He kind of realized there might be some space offered up on the bomb site, and he's not going to waste any time. Sends his troops into the front lines here. Max is trying to lock it down. He's got some support here from Long as well. Taco playing off of his teammates really nicely right now, just in terms of how he takes the first fight, tucks into the corner, allows for his teammates to come into the equation as well. Naz is going to get overwhelmed, and this is looking very good for the CT side.
Yeah, all right. Okay. BESTIA, we are yet to see them really come on a line, and this was not what we were expecting. If anything, it was going to be the other way. And yeah, no surprises, we get a pretty early sort of timeout call here by Bestia. They desperately need a conversation. I mean, even getting to the point now, it's a full gun round. We're not even getting a bomb plant. That's never a good sign. Not against what is, I guess, theoretically a bonus buy. So, worrying times here, and understandably why we've called for this pause.
Yeah, I mean, MR12, these games can get away from you very quickly. Of course, we have back-to-back best of ones here. Bestia, well, we touted them as significant favorites coming into this matchup. And they're actually going to use... Oh, I thought they were chain pausing here, not to be... Have you noticed, I mean, of course, you would be following Taco on Twitter. It feels like over the past, 6 months to a year, he's had a little bit of, a chip on his shoulder, which I actually love. Like, he's kind of come in and say, well, I can see a lot of the issues in the Brazilian scene, and I think that I have a pretty good idea on how to maybe remedy some of them. And he feels like he could, if he returned to action, full time, he thinks he'd have a pretty easy time of it at reaching the top in the region. He's actually been a lot more confident than I've ever seen from him before when you go back to when he was in his prime, SK luminosity, if you will. And I actually like to see this new confident Taco.
I'm with you as well. Also had a bit of a chip on his shoulder in terms of he hates Counter-Strike right now. I don't know if you've seen, he is so often just tweeting Valve, please fix the game, which I also kind of respect. That is the way to kind of get a little bit of notoriety out there. Just get top players with insane audiences and just at Counter-Strike and say, you've got to fix this and that. And it seems like to some degree, some of it's been working too. So I can respect that. Players using their voice for the right reason. Shadow spotted by Ponta, so he drops a Molotov, and he gets a bit of support, but a second gets found as well as VSM adds a third to the tally. The pistols are still making this a little awkward. The nade comes over and banks down, but this should surely be wraps it. Naz in what feels like an impossible 1v3, and it is. Taco sees it off, and touch on your point. Taco, he says he can still play at the top level, and he's playing very well at the moment.
Yeah. He's gaming 8-0 right now, and VSM 9-2. Two of the players we highlighted as journeyman coming into the series. Veteran for Taco. That would be probably a more accurate or apt status for him. But they're having a really good time of it. I actually love Ponta's angle there, just on top of the sign. So as you mentioned, he can just spot the shadow, drop the incendiary immediately, and then getting a kill and so much damage, buying that time was perfect. Rotations came through, and the CTs were never out of control of that round. This is a big one, mate. This is a really important round for Bestia now.
It's not a good start, is it? Noxy going to get caught immediately. Molotov down. And they're going through the flames again, but this time it works. And it could be a little spicy.
Oh, good kill found.
Shots. He gets his shot and actually gets out. I like this.
Get a little bit of a look in with Ferrace and his first kill of the round. Rotations come through. Taco is just taking names, taking heads, and taking rounds. That is a great cleanup coming through from him on the A-bomb site.
What's happening? It's 6-0. And there's just not even been any sort of a look in at all for the Bestia side. They are getting overwhelmed. And their third and final timeout going to be used before heading into the 7th round. And normally I'd be saying, why and what's going on, but I actually respect this. You are 6-0 down to a mix, right? Ultimately, because it is a mix, and it's working. And they're starting to run away with this game on the CT side. I mean, these guys have been in the roster, it's basically been for 2 months, essentially. So they were kind of formed just prior to Christmas, in that kind of December time. And I don't know how much practice they've had, but it's obviously paying off right now because Bestia are getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I wonder how... what sort of level Bestia actually expected from Tropa de Taco coming into this back-to-back best-of-one matchup. For me, it just feels like Bestia are struggling in the fragging department, and that's kind of reflected in the numbers as well. I mean, Naz had that one pop-off round with the Hero AK, but really, we haven't seen much on an individual level at all from the Bestia players outside of that. I don't even really know what the plan was in the previous round. Noxa had an AWP, and he just went through the B doors in towards Speedway, and then died with the wall bang, but he had no support around him, didn't have anybody to trade if he did die. And he had the AWP, which is such an important part of the setup. So, yeah, let's see what these 3 pauses are going to result into here for Bestia, because they need to start to find some rounds. Of course, max round loss bonus behind them means they've got some good upgraded pistols and util along with the armor. But how do they sink their teeth into the round? Again, they're going to force their way into this A-bomb side, and they found 2 opening kills. This is a whole lot better.
Oh, well, VSM's found 2 in response, but this time bomb goes down. So, what he feels better? Max and Farias. A lot to prove here. Going to boost up on towards site. With that smoke down as well, this is a really difficult retake, especially considering this internal question of do we want to risk the AWP? I know we've got money, but it's just a very difficult one to make stick, and that's not going to help. I wouldn't be surprised if the Orb decides to try and fall away, but that's a luxury he's not going to be given. So, well done by Bestia, finally getting around on the board. It's taken a hot minute. We got there in the end, and of course we get some upgrades. All picked up, a couple of M4s to work with. We're pretty happy.
Yeah, heavily persisting with that A-bomb site there for Bestia. 3 rounds in a row now, they're just barreling in that direction, and I guess they were relying on Tropa de Taco not expecting another big A hit coming through there from the T side, and it worked out because there was actually only one player on that side of the map. And that was a half buy. That's going to give a good boost of confidence now to Bestia, but that's going to be the start of something. It's going to be them now building into this T side.
Let's see. How do Bestia continue trying to get rounds on the board? They're going quick here. Quick A presence has been obviously a staple of them these last few rounds, and again it works for Pank. He is relentless. Oh, it's worked all over. A site's open. That's probably the round.
Okay, well, welcome to the server, Bestia. Good to have you guys here. Probably a little bit later than what we initially expected, and this is going to be a massive round because look at the economy now for Tropa de Taco. They've got no money. Despite the fact they won 6 in a row, at least Bestia are kind of chipping away a little bit, and yeah, they're looking a whole lot warmer. Maybe they got a little bit of a jack up the ass there from Nocta or the coach in that third pause, just bringing everybody back to front and center, getting their attention, and yeah, individuals now getting the kills you would expect from them. You know, for me, Luchov and Thomason, they have to be the main cogs in the fragging outfit for Bestia. Luchov is just like, I consider him a bit of like a can opener, if you will. The way he can just open up sides of the map or bomb sites. He's always the guy who's happy to get his hands dirty, be thrust in first, and really do some damage and create that space for his teammates.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. A second on the board, and it will be a third because we've only got USPSs here. Surely we're not losing to this. We can see where Bestia are finding the gap. It's punishing Ponta on towards his A side. Of course, they went for a gamble stack B, and well, no one's home. So A side, they run in. Nobody here. Bomb will go down in a moment, and a pretty simple third on the board. And I do wonder now whether there's maybe a bit of an inkling for the CT side actually to start bolstering up this A side. You normally only play kind of 1A, 1 in through donut to support the mid player, but they might actually start playing 2A to start off and just have a mid player on their own in Red Room as a little bit more of a standoff approach, just so that A isn't continuously overrun.
Yeah, and that's when Nocta would be hoping to pull the trigger on a change up in the strat and a change up in the approach, right? Trying to stay one step ahead of his opponents, conditioning them to stack up that A bomb site with an extra player, and then, yeah, maybe you go for a mid take or you move in towards B a little bit more aggressively. I love seeing teams first throw the fake in terms of how they've conditioned their opponents, so throw util into the A bomb site and really sell that fake, and then from there pivot.
Nice. So, there's a response needed from Tropa de Taco, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like, as well, and this is how quickly games sort of can be, where it's, you find this form, you're 6 in a row, you're loving life, you lose a couple, your economy breaks, and it can so quickly just completely flip on your head.
Yeah.
And that could be the case there, so they need to be careful. Bestia are looking, you know, still full of confidence.
I mean, if this ends 6-all on the half, then Bestia will absolutely be the happier of the two teams, and Tropa de Taco will feel like they've left a few rounds on the board. That's what Noxa was trying to do in that second gun run with the Yorp. In towards Jaguar early on, posted on the angle, finds the kill, and now for Ace is under so much pressure on this B-bomb side. Been spotted out in the corner, good damage inflicted, but that's not nearly going to be enough to motivate his teammates to go for the retake. And Bestia, this is going to be a commanding 4-round streak coming through from them. Definitely was a flip switched in that, a switch flipped rather in that pause.
Yeah. That third one in particular, it felt like number 1 and 2 didn't do anything, but yeah, that third one finally kind of got the point across of what they needed to do. And of course, for the CT side, they're under a lot of pressure now. Taco saving could even be pretty difficult. I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a little bit of a hunt play. You can kind of see it slightly forming. They're pincering them in, they're surrounding them. These steps are being heard as well. Ponta. Oh, I was going to say he should get one here, but now he's actually in a lot of trouble. That smoke's worked against him. It's a flawless round for Bestia. Naz goes down to the bomb, but bar that, they are really loving life at the moment. And this is, you know, this is South American Counter-Strike through and through. You're loving life one second and you're hating it the other.
I'm just wondering how many kills Tropa de Taco have actually gotten in these 4 rounds that they've lost, because I don't think it's many. You can even just see that as reflected by the money that BESTIA have built up here. They're loving life. All the momentum behind them. It's going to have to be another half investment here from the CT side. And yeah, this has been a really good comeback here from BESTIA in the first half when they were under the pump at one point. Because they were getting dominated in the rounds they were losing. It's not like they were really close, and if they just made one small adjustment, they would start to win the rounds.
Okay. This game has flipped so quickly. I mean, it would be hilarious, and it also just so classic SA if we had, you know, a 6-0 start and a 6-all finish. That would be,
oh yeah,
as you know, as classic as it gets. 5-7s are close here though, and 5-7s to me are unbelievably scary. So I'm gonna discount them, but not if they're not holding ramp properly.
Oh, good flash though. Could allow for the 5-7 to thrive. Max only going to be able to get the one, probably needed a little bit more than that. Naz as Mac 10 just chews them up. Able to enter cave from the backside there. That catches Taco completely off guard. BSM with the deed lined up. Oh, mate, had his opportunity, but pays the price as he misses out. And that is going to be BESTIA romping to a 5th. Very streaky game. 6 in a row for Tropa de Taco to start off the first half, and now 5 in a row as a response. Is it going to be that 6-all halftime scoreline? Would be crazy. Because it's going to be as dominant as the first 6 rounds we saw. It's not like there's been any contest in these rounds from either team who's been losing these rounds.
Yeah. What a wild, wild game of Counter-Strike.
And it feels like it's been so quick, mates.
Yeah.
Like 11 rounds in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've only been here sort of what feels like 15 minutes or so. And it is just been, every round is getting settled for the most part, like the first at least kind of minute. Sometimes even less. I guess probably credit to BESTIA. Win or lose, they're relentless in terms of their pace. And the conditioning is obviously causing a lot of problems towards Tropa de Taco. Spam in towards mid. First fight will go the way of Thomas as he catches Taco and asks the call from the grave.
Taco's completely fallen off here, as most of the Tropa de Taco players have ever since BESTIA have started winning some rounds. And that opening kill in the middle is going to create a lot of space. Max is looking to try and fight for Jaguar. Re-smoking it, the spam is going to connect. And that was going to allow for VSM to also enable here towards Ram, but only for the 1 kill. That's going to put Max in a bit of an awkward position. And I love the smoke phase coming through here in Jaguar as well, realizing that Max's attention has probably been pulled into the B-bomb side. Naz deals with him, and BESTIA regain the advantage.
Naz, just playing up close. This is a big flank starting to brew. I mean, this 2 versus 3 may have some legs behind it. I'm just going to eat a bit of a nade. Naz knows as well, so he's going to sit up close, and now it's all down to the AWPer. AWPer on a retake, not to be. 6-0 start and a 6-all finish. We are in South American Counter-Strike, ladies and gents. We're close to a break. We'll see you soon.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road. Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident, opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A crack boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last day night, my old life, ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA, I'm headed on my way, I'm headed on my way to LA, headed on my way to,
Couple thousand miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass.
Welcome back. One of the weirder halves of Counter-Strike. Tropa the Taco started very well, 6-0 up, weren't breaking a sweat at all, and then turned their monitors off, it seems, as they lost 6 straight to follow that up. So it was, I don't know, it was wild. I mean, credit to BESTIA, in all fairness, for kind of somehow coming back from what felt like an unrecoverable deficit.
Yeah, I mean, you did mention it would be the epitome of South American Counter-Strike if it ended 6-all, and that's exactly what happened after that great start from Tropa de Taco. Now they have to try and kick off on the right foot here, coming into their T side. They have lost Taco already, and BESTIA is certainly going to back themselves in the retake. That's a lovely shot there from Luchov. One shot fired, one frag found. Makes it even easier. Naz has been locked out by that smoke deep, though. And BESTIA may try to buy some time for that. Luchov in the corner, not expected. He's found another. All down to Max and Ponta to try and recover this 2v4. And Max is doing a pretty good job of it, but they are eventually going to get overwhelmed. Just too many players to deal with. And BESTIA, for the first time on the map, will get the lead.
Yeah, well. Nice and simple. For BESTIA, 7 rounds in a row now for them. A wild game is brewing here. But Tropa de Taco, in the same time we spoke about, and we kind of memed a little bit about BESTIA in terms of their triple tack pause or whatever, it's worked because obviously they've come back into the game. And I'd love to see a pause get called here by the T side. You know, maybe not exactly right now, but at least some point in the early part of this half, you cannot allow BESTIA to keep just rolling through the motions like this.
Yeah, I mean, they still have 3 pauses. I'd even like to see one before this round so you can actually discuss exactly what the plan is. Doesn't look like there's much of a plan, though. Just going to be heads first in towards this B-bomb side, charging through with the MAC-10 and the AK. Oh, Noxa maybe waiting for a support flash there, but he dies before he does get that flash, and Taco just rampaging through the bomb site to find 2 kills, breathing life back into this game here for his team. And that is going to be an important boost here for Tropa de Taco.
Yeah, well, of all the rounds to win, of course, is the one where it's the weird kind of
Classic.
Tech 9, you know, Mac 10 sort of weird buy. That's the way to kind of flip a kind of game on its head. So 7-all, and this game opens up once again, right? We kind of put ourselves into a spot where BESTIA have to recover. And this is actually an interesting thing. If the T side start to find a little bit of form, the one thing that's really worrying for BESTIA is they cannot break up the momentum. They cannot pause this game because they've run out of attack timeouts. They used them all in the first 6 rounds. So this is one of the things where, as much as it was a good thing that they used those timeouts and they were able to turn the game on its head, the bad thing is that if they ever need to break this game up, they will not have any way of doing so.
Yeah, it's a good point. You're going to have to try and figure out a solution on the fly if things do start to go awry here for BESTIA. I do want to point out that Farias and Ponta only have 4 kills between the 2 of them. The 2 rookie players here certainly are struggling. It's going to have to be an improvement. You can't expect VSM and Taco to get the job done. I guess Max has had some good multi-kill rounds as well. But now it's BESTIA who scrapped together what they can afford here. A couple of SMGs, a scout, and then some upgraded pistols. That's what they have at their disposal to try and deny Tropa de Taco getting the lead. And now we get to the business end of the map as well, so you don't really want to fall behind the pace of the game right now. This round basically counts for 2. At least for Tropa de Taco it does.
Oh, Max. He gets out. Fair play. That's the support of VSM there, but he was in a potentially quite threatening position. So already an opener for that T side. If they get this run as well, they break that economy once for BESTIA. which in itself is a wild predicament. That's 2 rounds down, potentially a third as well to make matters even worse. And it gives not that many chances left for this Bestia side to kind of respond in kind. So they need to be really careful. They kinda, especially the next gun round, they basically cannot afford to let it slip by any means necessary.
Well, they have got a good read here, and I really like that they've decided to go for the gamble with them being down by a man. I also would like to see Tropa and Taco just use Ponce here to try and get information in towards middle or donut and just see what's potting on that side of the map before they commit. Generally, you don't want to commit blind like they are, especially you got that man advantage. You have the liberty of playing for info before you commit, and it looks like they've got the read here. Taco getting that kill might motivate them to still explore B, but no, they've certainly realized what's going on here, and it doesn't even look like they're second-guessing this read.
BSM, 2 points of HP. But he's just going to try and keep attention drawn here. Or actually, with his low HP, just hope somebody unknowingly walks in his direction. As long as he doesn't do anything too audacious, he should be fine. He needs to be careful now. I can't afford to take any sort of attack. So yeah, just get out of there. Keep hold of what he's got. There's no point dying for no reason and having to reinvest in. But he's having an absolute cracker of a game so far. Him and Taco. 15 kills for him, 14 for Taco. And this hunt's looking like he's got the right idea. Oh, Noxie, nice shot on towards Taco. As he gets absolutely clipped. And I might be more behind. He gets a body shot.
Yeah, I don't think that these kills are worth pursuing for Tropa to Taco. I mean, you just would be denying MP9 scouts and a Desert Eagle. And I think it's actually way more important that they bolster their economy this early on in the half. And so they will be able to keep 4 of their 5 players alive and regain the lead here. Not only that, but as you mentioned, Bestia are going to have to eco, which puts so much weight on that next gun round to follow.
8-7, 1 round lead. And of course, no real investment can be brought in towards this round for Bestia, so it should be extended to 2. And like we were sort of discussing, right, it puts so much pressure on this next round for Bestia with that full gun round. If they lose that, it's pretty easy to say they're most likely probably going to be losing this map, right? That's how quickly things can fall apart. That is MR13 in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's going to be 9-7 at the end of this round. At least it should be. Oh. And then that would be 10-7 if they lose the gun round, 11-7 afterwards. So I'm right there with you. Very difficult to recover. Let's see if they can find a way to maybe win this round, where they've carried a few guns over Naz. That's unfortunate timing. He shoots just as he's turned away from the flashbang, just shooting into the wall. He will lose his life out, and unfortunately, no immediate trade.
Damage dealt towards Max, so he's still slightly vulnerable, but having an opening kill is already a positive to work with. I don't really know if Max wants to be fighting this. Trying to see, is he setting himself up? Yeah, I can say for a pop flash, he is, but he just dies full blind to the scout. Will Luchov get cleared here? It's not always the easiest angle to clear on this sort of close left engagement, but VSM makes light work of it.
Yeah, I like the big step out there from VSM. He doesn't edge his way forward. It's a wide swing as he commits, and it's going to be Ponce who cleans up in middle, doubles up his kill count, and keeping 4 players alive is going to be a great boost here for Tropa de Taco. Looked like it might be a bit scratchy at one point. I mean, that completely blind scout shot was a nice one from Nox there, but this is the round that carries all the weight right now for Bestia. Had a good run in the later stages of the first half, yet to get going here on the CT side. See if they can make it happen here and now.
Let's see.
What's the plan going to be from Tropa de Taco? Do they keep up with the pace? I mean, it's been a very aggressive T side so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd love to see. I would just absolutely love to see them go for the relentless aggression. We might just get it. Look at the flying in. Taco can lead the charge. First is to go well with VSM trades, and this is a beautiful way to go about it. It's sticking this sort of pack mentality, but you got to hit those shots, and they can't. Pank catches Max, and it'll change things a little bit. 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that kill certainly does change the optics of the round here. Gives Bestia the advantage, and they retain side control. That wallbang is really nice, though. Mariah's just narrowly avoiding the spray through the smoke, at least initially, but on the second burst, Pank will get the job done. And that leaves Ponce in a 1 versus 2. Nox is going to go searching, and the timing works out as Ponce clears the corner. So Bestia win that all-important gun round. Just to note, they did double smoke the doors here at the start of the round with Bestia, so clearly just a bit of a lack of comms there. Obviously, you throw that smoke from spawn, and it was double smoked. So they've got to make sure they don't make that mistake again. Smoke's imperative on Ancient.
It is true. And a 1-round game, and it continues to be one of the weirder games, for sure. This is what we love to see. Wild West out here in kind of the South American Counter-Strike scene. And now as well, with Bestia at least staying afloat a little bit, does it reinstill that confidence once again, as they did to get their 6-round streak? And I mean, basically, that's what they're hoping for. The one thing I worry about is when you face off against some of these slightly more unorthodox mixers, they will keep you guessing constantly. And I think that's what we're getting out for Tropa the Taco. Flying in. Great little opener there as well. Second behind it too from BSM. Beautiful work. And they just collapsed in on that B site. That's it. 2 versus 5. 1 versus 5. Round done.
Goodness. Yeah, Bestia just getting absolutely demolished. Now, I kind of like the way Tropa de Taco stutter step there. We've seen them go very aggressively into the B-bomb site. This time, they do head in that direction, but there's a little bit more of a methodical approach. Very good util usage. They let Bestia get a little bit comfortable, thinking it's not going to be that all-out B hit right at the start of the round. And then they actually pushed 2 players through the Jaguar smoke, and there was no one there for Bestia. I think that was really the big advantage for the T side in the round, is they could just collapse on that B site at a moment's notice, and Bestia never stood a chance, and look at what that's done to their economy.
Oh, we are in a tough predicament now. It should be 11, that's for sure. And now it's about, can we essentially survive in what is basically their last gun round? Because you lose that gun round, that's it. Thomason, I love it. Doesn't work out, but I love the idea at the very least. And a quick round for us, so we don't even really need to dilly-dally all too much. We're heading in towards what is basically the most important round so far in this game for Bestia. If they lose this, Hayes, simple as they've lost the map.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They're not going to have any money to try and recover the situation. Tropa de Taco finding some reinvigoration here on Ancient after they lost 7 rounds in a row. They've looked very convincing on this T side, and really we've only seen one strat from them so far, maybe just with some varied degrees of pace. It does look like there's going to be a change up here, though, as they start to explore the opposite side of the map, but again, it's going to be the numbers-based approach. And they're not slowing down, that's for sure.
Uh-oh. The pace, relentless, Ponta flying out, hunting and chasing down Naz. What can he even do there? Thomason will get his and somehow actually gets out.
Yeah, at least he does, right? At least he gets a kill to keep the numbers even before they relinquish full side control. Looking to trade blows through the smoke. Tropa de Taco will get the bomb down here. Still have some decent utility. There's 2 mollies in play for this T side, and not much for the CTs to work with in terms of the retake. There's no kits either, so time's of the essence. Numbers remain in the level playing field right now. 2 guys going to come through from Temple and then 1 from CT. So maybe don't have as many avenues of entry into this B-bomb site as they would like. Boreas, though, being cleared out. Nocte going for the gamble. No scope through the smoke. No scope through the smoke. Yeah, doesn't connect. That's a huge kill out of Boreas. Really coming alive here when it matters the most for his team. And Nocte's going to head for the hills, realizing how important this orb could be. That's map point here for Tropa de Taco.
Oh my god. And to make that, yes, we got lost bonus, right? But the situation the Bestia are in is, what is this buy actually going to look around this? Oh, no. Oh, he's lucky to get out of there alive, actually. I don't even like him taking the shot there. It feels like it's sort of...
not worth.
Yeah, it's like instinctual that he wants to kind of take that sort of pop shot. Just run. Thankfully, he stays alive.
Yeah,
but
giving up your position.
yeah, 12-8. I don't know. This has just been a wild game, but Bestia, they just don't know how to deal with the pace of this T side.
Yeah, I feel like VSM's also just been mega so far here on the T side. He's just churning out kills, 101 ADR right now. He is popping off, and they've got 4 opportunities now to win on Ancient to Tropa de Taco. See if they can make it happen. Bestia, 4 in a row required for overtime. We've seen them with a good streak already, but I don't really have much belief based on what I've seen so far here. Oh, Taco, don't think he caught a glimpse of the leg there. Smoke completely obscuring Thomason up close and personal right now. And it's a default. Tropa de Taco, what is this?
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen a little bit more of what feels like a formulated idea here. MP down for the first. Max gonna get caught early, and behind that smoke, VSM, he could hold and wait or move on and see what else he can find and see if he can find somebody trying to support that little pincer maneuver on shelf.
Does look like Tropa de Taco are going to pivot in the opposite direction, and again they're moving with pace here, trying to get ahead of the game, but Bestia have a pretty good idea of what's coming their way. Timing not great for Thomason. Big swing from Ponta, only able to get the one though. Taco at least has the information that there's a player behind the Xbox here. Naz is doing very well to just keep himself tucked in, and Pank will capitalize on the attention taken here by Naz. Love that play coming through from him. Fearless, pushing through the smoke like that, and absolutely necessary.
Farias, what do we even do here? Nothing is the answer. Very quickly answered, in fact. So we stay alive. We stay afloat. There's so much money to work with on the flip side for Tropa de Taco. I mean, this will be money basically that lasts for the rest of the match, unless it goes towards overtime, of course. So they're never going to really have to worry about that all too much. I mean, look at it now, 10k on Ponta, Taco. They're chilling. We are finally going to see that attack pause, though. Better late than never, and let's just make sure that we don't overthink this too much, guys.
Yeah, ironic that this is when they call the pause, though.
Yeah.
After losing 7 rounds in a row, and it's like, okay, we got to call one now. I mean, they've got plenty of money in the bank. I think they've got enough money to pretty much buy throughout the rest of the map. If they can get some bomb plants out of these rounds, the round loss bonus will start to rack up and mount up as well. So Bestia are basically going to have to do this on hard mode, but they've gotten past the most challenging part of this fight back to Force OT, and it's winning that kind of broken by round with 3 MP9s. Now at least they've got 2 AKs, all the util in the world. Let's see if the favorites can find a way to force us into overtime. It would be so classic, right?
Oh,
perfect
absolutely.
ending to this tale.
Absolutely. We had a 6-0 start and then a 6-0 finish. I mean, this would just be, you know, primed and ready to go completely flipping the other way, which would be, in its own way, kind of great. Anyway, it towards mid. Oh, it's so messy. And it could have been so nice. The idea was actually pretty solid. And it just, they all missed the crucial shots. And, well, now, it's basically a 1v5 for Taco. Whoever's the time for him to roll it back, now it would be now.
Yeah, it feels like whichever of the two teams got that first kill in middle would have just gone on to win the round immediately afterwards. And I thought it was Tropa to Taco. Good util usage from them, but not actually able to get the job done. And this is going to be Bestia up to double digits. This position that Thomason's in right now is so strong. Rarely gets cleared. And there we go. He is even going to go for the knife adding. Insult to injury. Taco might even have caught a glimpse of the shadow there on the edge of his screen as Thomason dropped down. And that would have made it even more suspenseful.
Oh, wow. A knife is, yeah, it is insult to injury. But thankfully, again, the big thing is that the top of the attack side just have that money left in reserves. But I think you're absolutely spot on. Whoever essentially gets that first kill, I even feel, probably wins that round. Just because it was a 3-on-3, a raw 3-on-3 into his elbow. It's just the fact that there is 0 trades for Tropa the Taco. The spacing was a little bit off, and they just get isolated enough. Riot's going to go back. He goes through the nades as well, and he's full blind. So he had no chance there. Thomason has done so well.
Yeah, it looks like Tropa to Taco are running out of ideas here, just trying to run back the exact same strats in this round, hoping that maybe this time we can get the opening frag, but again, they've been shut down here. Thomason doubles down, and, well, now in a 3 versus 5, I don't see a way back into this. I feel like these rounds have been very clear-cut in terms of the team that gets the opening kill has almost always been able to go on and just win the round. Very good conversions from both the teams in that regard.
I think you're right. Okay, so this game's still got a little bit of life left in it. I don't know if we can pull off the 3v5 here. Get a kill on towards Pank and get a plant for ramp. There might be a chance behind it, but again, even still, it's asking a hell of a lot.
Yeah, Pank is not offering up anything either. Playing this to the book, to a T here. They know that they've got everything that they need right now. No need to venture out, make any unnecessary plays. Wait for Tropa to Taco to come to them. And they certainly will. Pank has a job to do as that clock starts to wind down. Rotation coming through from Naz to pad up the defense on this B-bomb site. Attention being taken by Naz as well. Only going to enable Pank more. However, Taco's gotten that kill. It hasn't required a trade either. If they can get the frag on Naz, that would be massive. Taco playing with fire, decides against committing to the fight initially. Naz looking for a little bit of a position to work with around the flames. Bomb plant comes through, and that makes this round interesting. See if they can find a way. Taco is still on the front lines, and Max gets a kill. That could maybe enable Taco to go for the swing. Hang on, indeed. Ponta's gotten another.
No, not like this, boys. Not like this. Luchon's making noise. Luchon's going to miss a shot. We're going to lose a 3v5. We've lost a 3v5 flawlessly.
No.
13-10 for Tropa to Taco in one of the funniest games of Counter-Strike I've casted in a while, Hayes.
Oh, it's not even like that was a 3v5 where they get onto an open side of the map and get the bomb plant for free there. They literally had nothing to work with. There was a standing start in the 3v5 for Tropa to Taco. And you mentioned if they can get the kill on Pank and then plant the bomb, who knows? Maybe that opens up the door in the round. And boy, did they just smash that door right down. And that's going to be a really bitter end to this map here for Bestia.
I can't believe it. What a game we've just got. I mean, of course, it's... For those who don't know with the format, it's back-to-back best-of-ones is sort of what we're rocking with here. So we do have another one to follow this up straight away after with that of Mirage. But Yeah, wow, that was a wild game. I can't try to say the least. I think these teams are going to have probably roughly around sort of 10 to 15 minute break before we get on the way in towards that Mirage. But either way, an insane performance coming through for all kind of the wrong reasons, but it's Tropa Taco who pick up that map number 1. So big from them. I think we're going to throw this on to a little bit of a break, so we will be back probably in around 10 or so minutes, and we'll see you soon.
You always had shit to say, now when I see you it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign. Yeah, had to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time. Yeah,
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. Yeah. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down. From getting
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
invincible. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof. Best in the game, you all know my name. Can't run now, it's too late. Got winning in my blood, in my DNA. It's destiny, it's fate. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable, I'm invincible. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable, I'm invincible. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof.
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Alrighty, welcome back in map number 2 or match number 2, depending on how you view it, in our game between BESTIA and that of Tropa do Taco. It was a weird one, wasn't it, Hayes? I think it's probably the best way to put it. It was a wild game of Counter-Strike, to say the least, but a fun one, I think, is the main thing too. We now head on towards Mirage to, I guess, settle things, and maybe a chance of BESTIA to kind of try and find a little bit
Season 48, to lose both of the maps here against Tropa de Taco would actually do quite a lot of damage to their campaign, I reckon. I mean, Tropa de Taco is one of those teams that will probably be vying for a spot in the top 10 out of 16. So, yeah, not a good look for BESTIA. Hopefully just some early hiccups for them, but they're definitely going to want to take some points away from this affair with Tropa de Taco, which means winning here on Mirage.
Yes, exactly. They have to get this one sort of, I guess, at least in a comfortable fashion too, just to convince us a little bit that they are still that side who, you know, can be at the top level, kind of win their region. It definitely wasn't enough from us. So we're a little bit worried. We're a little bit more concerned than we probably usually would be. And that's just because of how wild that game was and sort of what we've just seen. I think the good thing about Mirage, I guess, different to Ancient, if you are a team who's obviously got new signings as BESTIA do, and you're trying to implement them right, Mirage is a great litmus test to see just how good you actually are.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually always been a good map for BESTIA in general. I think that Nox has got a very good idea on how to call on the map. Again, we haven't seen them play it this year, but they had some good results towards the tail end of last year, just dominating M80, Boss, Nouns, and M80 again. But that's going back as far as October, so not really a huge amount of relevancy with those results, I suppose, especially since the roster changes come through as well. But yeah, I think that they'll have a better time of it. They'll back themselves coming into this map. It's not like Tropa de Taco have been pushovers on Mirage as of late either, though. They've also been pretty competent on the map, so we should again have an entertaining affair between these two teams.
Yeah, I agree. I do wonder what the mindset's feeling like as well over towards BESTIA. It was far from comfortable. It was really, you know, awkward to watch, sort of just from the spectator side of things, but you could definitely tell there was, you know, issues within the team. The comms seemed cluttered. The idea behind what we were doing, especially on like those T-set rounds, for example, the executes were a little bit janky. It didn't instill a lot of confidence into us that this is a side who are going to vie for a pro league spot. So I don't know, Mirage, like we said, it's always a good litmus test. It's always a good way to understand how strong a team actually is. But the one thing that worries me about BESTIA a little bit is that, in a way, I feel like Mirage might even lean into Tropa de Taco maybe even more. You know, they've been playing this relentlessly puggy, fast, in-your-face style of play. And, I mean, that's just what they might just do again on Mirage. You know, the pugger's paradise.
I mean, if BSM can find the same form we saw from him on Ancient coming into Mirage, then I think that, BESTIA might really struggle to contain Tropa de Taco. You know, we've already spoken about BSM in his Fluxo days in 2023, and I think that Mirage was actually their best map at that time, Mirage and Nuke, and there were two very good maps for VSM in general, and well, we saw how good he looked in that previous map. So yeah, it's not like this is a clear-cut map here for BESTIA by any stretch of the imagination when you keep that in mind, coupled with what we've just seen and how they fell apart in that 5v3 in the last round at Ancient means that they're clearly, they've got some chinks in the armor right now. Yeah,
I think you are right? And there's also kind of another conversation to be had about the changes that kind of BESTIA made it a little bit. Obviously, I'm not always maybe the number one person to go to when we're talking about South American Counter-Strike. I've done my fair share, but for a while, it always felt like Naz was kind of next up on the chopping block a little bit for Bestia, and of course that's not the change they made, right? So I wonder maybe what the future's looking like for Bestia. You know, obviously they're in a kind of a region which is quite difficult to make changes with because, you know, obviously primarily the Counter-Strike kind of fan base over in South America is kind of Portuguese speaking. Obviously they have a Spanish speaking side, and there is definitely crossovers as we see with Pank, for example, but they can't kind of bring in a lot of talent the way I think maybe a lot of these Brazilian sides can do, and they can't obviously look towards Spain, for example, because, you know, just obviously all the externalities about moving someone, you know, across continents.
Well, I think it's crazy though, as you think about, imagine someone had told you, yeah, there's going to be a top 30 Argentinian team, not that they are right now, I don't think, but they kind of trying to head in that direction, currently ranked 36th. If you imagine someone told you there's going to be a top 30 Argentinian team and Mayan is not going to be on that team, like no one would believe you, right?
It is actually wild, right? And it makes you kind of beg the question about sort of what is happening there. But we are live, we're on the way. It is Bestia starting on that T side. And Tropa Taco starting on the CT side. It was a wild game. We had a 6-0 start and then a 6-0 response to make it an even half. I doubt that'll happen again, but you never know.
Well, let's see exactly what Mirage has in store for us. It's a very passive setup towards this B-bomb side. Taco just watching from range. We know how well how familiar he is with this B-bomb side. He spent many an hour, many a round playing on the side of Mirage, and at least we'll get a kill to keep the numbers level, but it's going to be a tough retake in towards this B side right now for the CT side. Fares, though, does force the issue, and he catches a kill, and he's able to keep himself alive as well.
Might be a chance there on this retake. They got the numbers to work with. Now they don't have the numbers to work with. Thomason looking for more, and he will get deleted, but now he's going to respond well. So still a 2 versus 2, and it is brewing here, but Noxy going to make sure that the debate starts to settle in favor of Bestia. Time ticking. Ponta does have a kit, so might still have a chance here. He's got to try and isolate the fights, though, and it's never that easy. He's trying to swing in for them, and he'll lose his head. Noxy sees it off with 2 kills to his name, and a bit of a sigh of relief as Bestia start well.
Yeah, I mean, everything really going according to plan there for Bestia. I like that they don't really go into a shell in the post plant as well. Thomason continues to force the fights even as the bomb's ticking away, not giving, you know, not rolling out the red carpet for Tropa Taco to actually kickstart that retake. Constantly just interrupting them and making sure they chip away, finding the important trades as well. And that means that they're going to open up their account first here. I actually think Bestia have won they lost the first pistol round on Ancient, but they won the second, and they've opened up here a Mirage as well. And, well, now they're going to play the easiest round of their lives, just USPs. Now, would you rather play against 5 USPs or 5 Glocks?
Oh, do you know what? I'd actually rather play up against the USPs, especially if I'm in this sort of a round where I've got head armor. I'd much rather play up against the USPs. I just think, like, as weird as it is to say, sometimes those Glocks on the move, especially recently, I've seen so many people who are just insane at running and gunning with Glocks, where the USP maybe not as much, but obviously Glocks are also pea shooters against armor, so, you know, both are bad, but I feel like Glocks just annoy me over how good some people are at running and gunning with them.
I actually tend to agree with you. I think that's a pretty good comparison or thing to consider between the two of them. Is just that moving accuracy of the Glocks. However, USPs at range when they combine like that can still inflict some damage as well. But at this point, it's just making sure Bestia don't lose too many players in the post plant. They've already done the job of getting the bomb down, site in full control as well. Second round guaranteed. But they're going to want to keep numbers alive here and build up their economy.
Yes, Sam. Looking. See if he can keep this Galil alive. He should be okay, but Luchov is here to try and at least cause a bit of a nuisance. And, of course, he wants a bit of money for that Mach 10 too. Don't really blame him. I don't know if he'll get it. And actually, he'll lose his life for it. ESM does fall in the end. So no Galil brought over in towards the next. But in the end, a kill or two is what you'll take in a round where you don't bring anything to the table. Now, Tropa Taco come in with that full buy. And Full's going to come out. Someone might have to take a bit of a hit if they do want a full better util, but they're actually going to prioritize the firepower here, which I do like to a degree, because it is mainly AKs on the other side. They want to go toe-to-toe, and this is where, again, Tropa Taco are going to do a lot of their best work. They want to pug. They want to fight up against you and actually rely on their individuals. Let's see how well they do.
Yeah, they're going to look to try and set the table here as well, set the tone going forward into the rest of the CT side by winning this opening gun round. As for Bestia, they're going to try and mount the pressure early on here on their opponents. Decent mid control, pretty standard approach coming through from Bestia. One lowers, one top mid. keeping the CTs focused on that side of the map, but there are a couple players grouped up outside of apartments. The smoke separating them for the moment. Taco's just dropped his second smoke there to afford that control, but as it starts to fade, he's going to fall back. Now Bestia can start to make their move. Where are they going to go, though? That's the question.
Glass cannon for IS2. Very risky in this spot. VSM, he's teetering there, but actually very good understanding of what potentially was brewing. And there might be more. They're trying to jump out in towards B, and they're just getting mowed down. Taco probably could have kept VSM alive there, but either way, it's not going to make a difference. One left alive, and a pretty good tround all in all. Your first gun round for Tropa the Taco, only losing one. You're not too upset with that.
Oh, not at all. They're on the board now, and they do it in convincing fashion as well. And you look at the finances now for Bestia, and you got to think back to those kills and the players that they lost in that anti-eco round. Going to come back to haunt them a little bit. I reckon we'll still see them invest because, well, it's not like they'll be able to afford a full buy in the next if they do Savior, so they'll probably spend all their money. Another early pause being used here by Bestia, in line with what we saw out of them on Ancient.
Oh, well. A early tack pause. I do quite like the early tack pause in the sense of we know how effective it was for Bestia. The one thing that I would have changed, especially as we knew kind of now in hindsight, is actually just leaving at least one in towards the second half. They had no way of breaking up Tropa the Taco when they started running away with things. It was great for them to get back into the game, but just not having that contingency plan as a bit of a just in case, obviously actually came back to bite them quite severely.
There we go. As expected, Bestia do empty their pockets, and it means they can afford 2 AKs, a MAC-10, and a couple Desert Eagles as well. This is Tropa the Taco's opportunity. You win this, you level it up, then you play against an eco, and the lead is ripe for the taking. If they can make it happen. No, not so nearly just straight up. Excuse me, it's for ice. It just nades BSM there. Nice nade timing there towards the top middle as well. Tropa the Taco clearly keen to contest control here and towards mid, and it's actually only one player out in the open. Because of those chain smokes in towards snipers means that the player kind of gets left to his own devices there, does max, but at least there's a trade kill that comes through.
Ponta. It's an angle that was kind of only really used into a CS2, but I really do like it. It's an off angle that can leave you very exposed in towards anybody pushing out. What a shot, by the way. It sort of felt like he was going to get panked there, but instead, him behind him, so the AWP doing well. Still, a 2 versus 3. This is really uncomfortable. Taco can't get through Murder Hole there, so he has to reposition. You probably have to go towards CT or just full save, which is actually looking like what they're going to vie for. It's rare to see this, but they're going to kind of fully commit and give up on the round.
It's actually such an important round for Bestia to win as well because of what the consequences would have been had they lost it. Yeah. So, good work coming through from them. Just numbers in towards mid. Smoking off snipers means they're able to isolate that connector player who was actually probably in no man's land there, to be fair. I don't think it was a great idea for Max to just be out of the open in mid without anybody able to support him. Because even if you do get one kill from that position, you're always going to get traded out. And a 1-for-1 trade that early on in the round is always going to favor the T side.
Okay. Another rally, he's 2 staying alive. They didn't get close enough on the hunt there. It felt like for a moment Naz had the right idea. He was going to have a look over. But I think at the same time for Bestia, there really isn't too much of a need to risk it. I think if they're in this spot, I mean, sort of for them, they don't have like super stable long-term econ built up. So kind of what's the point, I think, is the main thing. Keep all of your guns. Keep building that econ up. And obviously, you've already got the lead. You're already sitting in a fairly decent spot. And you actually started into your T side very well. The one thing for me, if I look at how these two teams play, I actually really think it's which is a bit of a rarity on Mirage in particular, but I think it's a big requirement that Bestia get at least a lead kind of going in towards the second half. I think Tropa the Taco, from what we've seen, do their best work on T side. And I feel like if you are Bestia and you go in, even if it's like a 6-all, I do actually worry a little bit. Just because when those AKs come into play and VSM starts to cook, it's so difficult to shut them down.
I feel like, just to echo that sentiment as well, generally when you're a mix, you seem to have a better time of it on the T side because you can just keep things simple and direct, which is what we saw them do and find success with on Ancient. CT side requires intrinsic communication and a good understanding of your teammates, knowing how they like to play on bomb sites, how to play off of one another, the rotations as well. It takes a lot more depth to find that success. Either way, lots of pressure over towards A right now. Max will get a kill in Con. Upgrades his gun. He took a lot of damage in the process, and VSM's lost his life. There's still a player in CT. That's Mirage to see if he can disrupt this A bomb site take, but can't do anything about the plants, and Thomason dunks down on Max. Is that kill enough here to dissuade Tropa to Taco from going for the retake? I'm not sure that it is. Mirage is still in towards CT, and Taco's found the timing coming through the vent there. He catches Thomason completely unaware, and that will give them away into this retake here. They both have kits remaining. There's a couple flashes as well. Tropa to Taco need to try and find a way to get into this bomb site. Who's going to take contact? How do they approach this right now? There's a player in sandwich and one towards ramp. Double flashes here is going to be the name of the game, but Noxic goes undetected and he'll double down.
Great post plant there. It's just an unorthodox angle. You just so rarely see people play into a sandwich in a post plant, and you can see it just gets completely overlooked. It looks like a ramp plant every day of the week. And of course, there was a player in towards ramp, but you know, normally we're talking about like maybe like a ramp and a CT crossfire, or even like a jungle crossfire too. And as they both come up through connector, they just do not clear it effectively. So well done, actually, in all fairness, really well done from Bestia there. It's different, but it works.
And I guess that's why it works, because it's unexpected, because it's normally such a big risk to put yourself in sandwich in a post plant like that, because you can't fall back, right? If they know you're there, you're almost always a dead man. But then, as you say, they had that ramp player as well, which was the insurance policy, and he was always able to swing after Nocta took contact. Good setup from Bestia. Looking convincing here. They started off very slowly on Ancient. They were down 6-0. And then they lost the map 13-10. So you got to kind of wonder what the outcome would have been had they actually started off a bit better. Yeah, it's a really nice shot there from VSM. Brought down to a single point of health, but still comes away with the kill.
So yeah, it's a nice little shot from VSM. Regardless of whether his team are winning or losing, he always seems to make his impact known. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Oh, Naz hasn't checked his corner the entire way through. 5-7 gets one. There's going to be a swing that comes through from the top of middle. And Max will find a frag as well. Okay, this is now getting interesting.
That could have been cleaner, but it wasn't. But even still, it's a numbers advantage in favor of the CT side. It's just they've got to try and do it with what is a walking wounded VSM. Finish towards A side is going to be the play.
Kind, honestly.
Players here. Yeah, this is not easy. Bestia, they shoot through with this pretty much every day of the week, unless they completely overlook VSM in towards jungle.
Well, Taco's on a really big flank, and he's actually come through a lot quicker than what I'd imagine Bestia are going to expect. And he has an AK. Sure, no armor, but if he can even just get the jump on one player, that's a 3 versus 1 all of a sudden. Nothing on offer, and it actually looks like Thomason is peering in that direction. He is, but Taco just tears his head right off, and he's going to finish the job as well. Taco, that's as clean as it gets, and that's an eco round win for Tropa to Taco.
Okie dokie. That's a good way to sort of flip the script a little bit. Just when it was feeling like it was very one-sided, there was maybe something, you know, looking in terms of Bestia in long-term success, and Tropa to Taco going to at least show that we still have some ideas up their sleeve. Taco, great work from him. He had a really nice, you know, couple of rounds. And for a long time, we would kind of talk about something you brought up, right, where you spoke about, for a while, it was actually kind of just Taco doing a lot of the heavy lifting and VSM, and we actually seen, like, you know, Ponta struggling a little bit for Riot, also not having that form. They were both in kind of the single digits, whereas, you know, VSM and Taco in around 15, and this might still be the case, but the fact that we still see Taco in, you know, B2025 still have so many impact rounds, it's super good to see.
Oh man, I'll never get over it. I'll never get tired of it. Well, it looks like Bestia are going to turn up the wick here and towards the speed bomb site. That HE grenade could be a chunky one. Oh no, banks off the wall in the wrong direction. That allows for the Bestia players to get into this bomb site without having taken much damage. Thomason will fall with the Mac 10. Trade comes through straight afterwards, and at least VSM will get a kill at range here to disrupt the round, but only for a moment. Bestia have actually navigated this very nicely, all things considered, as they get the bomb down.
I don't even know if you can give this retake a go. I mean, as much as it's a 3 versus 3 and it feels even, unless they can get a freebie of a kill here, I don't actually know what they can do. Nadal, bank round, the flash doesn't really affect Max, and Noxie's just going to drop down, and he will get a kill behind it to make it even better. Retake of an AWP now. I don't even think we can give this a go, and to make matters worse, an AWP is going to fall. That is that. What a response from Bestia, especially with the guns that they had to work with.
Yeah, it's the second time they've done that now on the map, and I actually love the way they play that post plant after they realize that Max is in towards apartments, because they know, I mean, I don't know if they knew it was an AWP that was in market, but they certainly did know if there was a player in market, it was only one of them. So the guy with the Mac 10 just jumps through the window, and the other guy just swings market door and knows that even if his teammate goes down in window, he's going to get the trade every day, and then it's a 2v1, and you know where that last player is coming from.
Yeah.
So just some good heads-up decisions being made by BESTIA in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, nice to see as well. This is a BESTIA side who, of course, for us, we're just so perplexed by what we saw on Ancient, and it could even be, in hindsight, depending on how this map goes, that we look back and just say, right, that was just a bad map, and it happens to the best of us. But I talk about a bad map, and then I see things like that, and I think, nah, maybe not.
Oh, could be in some trouble. Oh, man, VSM actually gets a kill before he goes down there. Luchov probably going to be a little frustrated he couldn't get that frag sooner. It looks like he wanted to just take an extra second to make sure he lines the shot up there with the smoke, maybe just interfering with him a little bit. Either way, 3v3 dust settles for a moment. This is a huge round here for both of these teams. If BESTIA wins this, 6-2, no money for Tropa to Taco. 7-2, they're in complete control. If Tropa to Taco win this, though, then they'll still feel like they've kept BESTIA within arm's reach. And it's not like the Argentinians have much money either. The dust will settle now for a brief moment.
Yeah, eerily quiet, isn't it? In the 3 versus 3.
Weird, eh?
Yeah. Right,
Oh, no.
That's gonna hurt.
That sucks.
That's definitely gonna
That
hurt.
really sucks.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna really hurt. To make matters worse, at least the standard ruling
It's all the Brazilians.
Yeah. I remember I casted a game once where there was like something in like one city. There was like an internet outage, like a scheduled or something like that. I hope it's not the case there, but they all went at the exact same time. And the worst thing about it I was going to say is that the standard rule is when damage is done, round is live.
Yes.
So that just
and there
counts.
was so much damage done there as well. And the only reason I say it might have been an issue within Brazil is because Pank disconnected at the same time as the players on Tropa de Taco. And I guess BESTIA, well, the gods looked down on them kindly with that interruption because it's not like that round was clear cut at all. What was it, 3 versus 3 in the moment there, I think. So that's, really unfortunate for Tropa de Taco.
Yeah, that was wild.
That's going to make it 6-2 now, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully we'll be able to get the players back in the server soon enough.
And, one of those things, we actually might be potentially in a pause like this for a little while as well. Sometimes these internet issues, especially when it's something as, I guess, widespread as that, I'm assuming either like the connection to an entire country going down or a specific server going down in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's never a good sign. Sometimes that can take a little moment to kind of be fixed.
Not something that, like you say, you can just reconnect to the server straight afterwards. If it's something that's widespread, then normally those issues are a bit more serious and can be difficult. But hopefully it's just something where there was like a short interruption and the router just restarted and it's going to be back up momentarily. But hey, that's just us speculating at this point. We must say though, BESTIA certainly improved coming into Mirage, looking a whole lot better here. Been able to dictate the pace of the game on the T side, and they've looked very convincing.
Yeah, exactly that. So, looks like it might be a bit of a change of servers to get things back underway. But again, you never know. Hopefully, it only takes a brief amount of time. We can get things back in play. It's been an interesting start to this game at the very least, and of course, for both of these two sides, they kind of came in towards this series on that 3-match win streak. Now, of course, 4-match win streak, I guess, since that best of one earlier counts as a match in itself. So, Tropa de Taco, for them, their form's been really good. The only difference, I guess, when I was looking at the head-to-head between these two sides is that the big thing is that the caliber of teams are playing. We're talking about BESTIA beating teams like Legacy, solid, pretty decent teams there. Even before that, things like Boss as well, which aren't bad. But Tropa de Taco, as they're kind of working their way through this sort of Brazilian scene, I guess now moving out into South American scene, they've got to face off against some of the kind of lesser known names to build up a bit of a repertoire first. But I think BESTIA is one of their first big challenges in a while. Yeah. And it seems so far so good.
I mean, it's been a good litmus test here for this Tropa de Taco roster, and able to stand up to the challenge as well by winning on Ancients. Maybe had a glimpse here or there on Mirage, but certainly not to the same degree we saw on that previous map. Like I kind of said earlier, I reckon for them the goal here in ECL Season 49 is to reach the playoffs, place in the top 10 and give themselves a fighting chance. As for BESTIA, they want to qualify for Pro League. I mean, remember, it's not like this is their start to the year playing this competition or playing this match. They've already won the Frost and Ice South America Season 1 competition where they beat out Legacy in the final. So BESTIA should kind of feel like they are in some decent form at the start of the year. And that's why we can't really give them any reparations for the way that first map went down.
No, absolutely. And I think probably, arguably, one of the things that could potentially be spoken about is actually maybe for them coming in a little bit too overconfident, a little bit too comfortable, taking sort of their foot off the gas and saying, okay, they're a mix, they shouldn't be that strong. We have the protocols, we have, you know, the understanding here, and well, it wasn't the case. And this is where you can't really, you know, I guess underestimate these big team sides, especially when they've got individuals like your VSMs, like your attackers, who can be difference makers in such a notable fashion.
All right, well, the word on the streets is that we have to restart the server here. So hopefully not going to be too long before we're able to get underway with the action once again. I think it's kind of an undetermined amount of time that we're going to have to take before we're able to get back into this matchup. So guys, I think we're going to throw this one to a little bit of a break here. Don't go too far. When we return, we'll be jumping back into Mirage. It is a 6-2 scoreline if we're not going to be using the match medic, which I don't expect we will, based on the way the unfortunate situation transpired. So don't go too far. I expect we'll be back momentarily, and we'll continue with this affair.
But are we live? I think we might be live. Let's get it back underway. Apologies about the tech issue there. As you can see, all the Brazilian guys, or a lot of them, dropped out. Some sort of internet issue, but it seems like we are back underway. And credit to, you know, everyone involved. I feel like we've opted to not count that round, despite obviously damage being done. It was a 3 versus 3. It was hard to kind of say who was going to win it out. So they've got to go for a bit of a gentleman's agreement, which I like here. Max, for him, going to get caught by Lucho. So back into a 4 versus 4 now as they're trying to make their way up in towards A. What a shot, though, from the AWP of Farias.
Yeah, Farias really likes that angle on top of the ticket booth, and he's going to be able to find an important kill. Ponta up close and personal towards Ramp, finds a frag as well. And it's looking very good here for Tropa to Taka to find a third. Of course, these prolonged breaks certainly do break up momentum, and BESTIA had quite a lot of momentum at the point of 5-2 earlier on. But yeah, we're going to have to see how they're able to come back into the action after that near 30-minute break there. Tropa to Taco not wasting any time here, as they are able to get that 8th round in their favor, get the ball rolling once again, and actually go a long way in shattering BESTIA's economy. So this is Tropa to Taco having the red carpet rolled out for them to get back into Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely as well. So maybe now a chance at which we can start kind of building in towards this game. It's been obviously a bit of, you know, weirdly kind of broken up, of course, by that tech issue, but now we can kind of get back underway as we would want and start rolling through a couple of the punches. And yeah, like you mentioned, good chance at them starting to build up in towards this a little bit. This one should be easy, but a bomb plant here would be nice if they are able to get a Molotov nade and a smoke down. Another molly behind it too. They are throwing the whole kitchen sink at denying them getting out, and well, it's an absolute massacre towards B. That is read like a book. Taco with 4K.
Okay, and 4 rounds on the board as a result here for his team as well. Yeah, those lengthy breaks always suck when you're kind of the team in the ascendancy, right? And you feel like you're in a really good place. Things are flowing nicely for the team as well. Good calls being made, shots being landed. And now you're kind of just ice cold going back into this game here. So let's see, how do BESTIA go about their business in this next gun round? They're actually very light on utility coming into this, and Noctis had to settle for a Mac 10 as well. This is a really good chance for Tropa to Taco to fight back. I mean, they won the previous map before this and the best of one that preceded this one. 13-10. It was a convincing win considering the way the game had gone back and forth, and it was very enjoyable to watch them go about their business. If they could round out the evening with 2 best of 1 wins against BESTIA, that would put them in a really good place early on here in Season 49. Here we go. Execute gaining some traction into this B bomb site. Mac 10 leads the charge.
Alright, I like it. Flying around Mac 10. Sort of getting overlooked here as well as Nazo wrap around that corner and get a very easy kill. Now, bomb plants come through. BESTIA might have something behind this. Now you're going to bank over. We'll do a tiny bit of damage, but nothing notable. It's about this short play. Really, Ponta going to eat a dink there as well. Feels like he gets caught just maybe ever so slightly through the corner of a wall. VSM goes huge. It's all down to Lucho. 1 versus 3. This should be unwinnable. And it is a swing and a 5 by Ponta. And the troops that are tacos will end up tying this game up.
Is that actually what it means? Tropa to Taco, the troops of Taco?
I don't know. I
That's
assume
pretty cool.
there's... I'll do it right now. Let's see. Portuguese
Yeah, it'll Google Translate there.
to English. There we go. Portuguese to English. Tropa do Taco. Taco's troops. There we go.
There we go.
I assume
Okay,
so,
perfectly
but you know, it's
nailed
always
it.
good to kind of get clarifications. There we go. Taco's troops.
Honestly, I was always thinking like tropical, something to do with like something tropical. You know, Brazil can have a bit of a tropical feel to it as well. The rainforests and all the rest of the beaches. But Troops of Taco make more sense. It's kind of a cool name as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it certainly speaks directly to how this team has been formed. It's not beating around the bush. Taco at the helm here has rediscovered himself as an IGL, and again it looks like BESTIA trying to get into towards this B bomb site. Lucho coming up through middle there, catches Taco completely off guard. Rotation's coming through here. It's the AWP for Farias on the scene first, but it's a double flank, so it's actually going to take some time here for Tropa to Taco to get in a position to make this retake happen.
Oh, shot. Farias missing. One idea though is he tried to pop through that smoke, and he very nearly catches him on the corner of it. Molotov are banking towards bench, so this is going to force him in towards that corner. That makes it a little easier, but a dink through the smoke, not going to help at all. It's starting to be dismantled, this post plant. Getting into a plant, at the very least, was nice, but winning it, impossible. Really well played, actually, from Taco's men, as they actually just do a solid job at just being quite patient there. They realize we got kids.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time here. We're not kind of worried. And we've also got much better firepower. Let's just play off the back of the trades. Simple stuff.
I actually think there was a bit of an overinvestment in that eco around here from BESTIA. I mean, I guess they've got nearly full util, but the problem is they're lacking the AWP, and I feel like the AWP is an important part of the setup here. Nox has been okay with the AWP so far. I mean, he's not normally the guy who's lighting up the server with the sniper rifle. It's generally been one of my bigger criticisms for BESTIA, is that Nox feels like he might be a bit of a limiting factor in terms of his AWPing capabilities. You know, trying to juggle IGLing while AWPing as well has been something that's kind of the past now in Counter-Strike, but yeah, they're not going to have the luxury of the big green gun here in this round. Tropa Taco reinvigorated after that prolonged break. They've now won 4 rounds in a row, and it feels like those rounds have come pretty quickly as well.
Oh, let's see. Taco, he's getting so close. That was spam. He didn't even realize he spammed in there. He didn't hear it. At least it's just been a bit of a nuisance. He fails to reload the first time. Second time, not so much. Jumping up, he might get a bit of information there, but Taco's going to be tested. He's a low towards B. This is not an easy hold. He's going to play it towards back pillar, and he will just get deleted. Wow. What a shot from Luchon.
Yeah, must have been a good one, right? Really important kill to go away and opening up this B bomb site. This retake's highly unlikely for Tropa Taco. Don't have any great positions to work with, pretty stock standard. Sure, there's util and there's kits available as well, but someone's going to have to go nuclear. And even though Ponce does get a kill to kind of set the retake in motion, he's taken a lot of damage in the process. Going to have to rely on his teammates coming through from market right now to try and give him a way to find some more impact, but he's so low, a single bullet would be enough to get the job done. Lost a teammate in market as well. The round continues to crumble here for Tropa Taco, and it looks like we're going to have back-to-back 6 all halves, and that is indeed the case. I think both teams will be quietly content with that, and we'll have to wait to see how the action unfolds in the second half.
That
welcome back. Tech break into a couple of rounds and into the pause there. You know, it's keeping this game broken up, and which also is actually kind of interesting because it keeps us on edge of actually who is really in control of the momentum. It's hard to sort of predict at the moment. 6-all again at the halfway mark. Spotted that there. Thomason gets a Molotov on a nade set down. This could do decent damage, and it will, but they're bounding in, trying to hunt him down, and he will get a fadeaway shot. Knocks one of his own. What a shot down here by BESTIA.
Yeah, this is actually really good. BESTIA just locking down the defense on the speed bomb side. Rotations come through thick and fast, and they won't even suffer a single casualty here as they win the second half pistol round. And I thought Tropa to Taco had actually done the hard part already by getting out of apartments unscathed. You know, Taco was just bouncing his way into that B bomb site, but he gets bounced out immediately afterwards, and BESTIA just, you know, shut Tropa to Taco out of the round entirely. That's a really good statement for them, and a necessary round for them to win as well. That's the first round they've won since the extended break.
Good work. Good work indeed. Like you said, yeah. This will help. Pistol round should get the force behind it as there isn't a force to work with for Tropa to Taco. Simple and effective. A 2-0, 2-round buffer, I guess, it's a small thing, but in MR13, it's such a nicety to have. It puts a lot of pressure on that first gun round, too, for the T side. They lose that, they're already at a really healthy deficit, which BESTIA are a side that are more than capable of kind of capitalizing upon. So, a crunch towards mid. And I wonder where this bomb is actually going to head. It looks like it wants to wrap back towards B. No, it's dipping back, and actually it's getting stuck a little bit.
Yeah, surely just going to be an easy cleanup here for BESTIA. No need for them to commit anything into this round. Just hold and wait for the kills to come their way, and they certainly will. Clean up with just Nocta going down. 2-round lead now as we head into this first gun round, and it's actually kind of a similar situation to what we saw play out on Ancient, right? It was 6-all as well, and then Tropa to Taco had to kind of... They lost the first pistol round and they won their force buy, and then they were able to kind of pull ahead. Let's see if they can do something similar here and put pressure on BESTIA once again. You also spoke about how you thought BESTIA needed to win that first half, and they certainly were on course to do that, but it ended 6-all, so let's see if Tropa to Taco can make it work here on their T side. What's the plan going to be? Is it similar to what we saw in Ancient with that very pack-based mentality? Kind of started to play a little bit more default-esque Counter-Strike as the half went on. It looks like that's the fashion they'll start off with here on Mirage.
That seems to be the case. I saw Max finding Noxy. Bomb not committed just yet, but the team are leaning towards B. But I say that, and it feels like they're a little indecisive. This was the same thing towards that previous round. So it's allowed for a bit of a re-aggression. Oh, I don't think Max spotted the leg there. Max should be in trouble. He is in trouble. Upgrade to an AK. Thomas will take that all day. For the bonus round, getting an AK now out is a perfect way to upgrade the one bad gun you had to work with.
How do they get themselves a position in the round is the question. There's quite a lot of space that's been opened up or offered up towards that B bomb site here. You've got Thomason who's on catwalk, kind of trying to deal with middle, and the attention's certainly going to be pulled in that direction with the way the kills are going back and forth right now. VSM goes for an outlandish spray transfer. Doesn't work out for him, and sure, Ponta's been able to weave his way into this B bomb site, but the problem is the bomb's been dropped in middle. Doesn't have a huge amount of time left on the clock here, but could have an element of surprise on his side. I mean, nothing immediately on offer for him as he starts to kind of sweep his way forward, clearing out the angles. Is Thomason going to be exposed? He has Ponta around the corner. Oh, both players are on offer. He's not too clean on the first, but it looks like he may still have done enough. A lot of damage being done both ways right now. Thomason going back and forth, and he will come out on top.
I can't believe it. He had them lined up, and he had them dead to rights as well, and I think he just sort of slightly overthought it, just for at least a brief moment. And he was indecisive about which way I should go. Do I actually get the guy straight in front, or just kind of tucked into the right? And well, it ends up being costly towards him. A lot of damage dealt, but that is a bit of a heartbreaking one too. Let's slip away. 9-6. Healthy buffer zone. And look at this buy that comes through for a Tropa to Taco. We're talking about one rifle, a Galil. Double Tech 9. The Eagle on a Mac 10 and a slim amount of util too.
Weathering the storm over towards the B bomb site. Both teams have kind of reverted back to this option in their eco and half-fire rounds, and both teams have just been shut down emphatically. Oh man, Naz running out of ammo, lands the dink, and actually the kill will be finished off there by Pank. And that's going to be a commanding position that BESTIA now find themselves in. And they've got their footing once again here on Mirage. Was 6-2 at one point, or 5-2, then went 6-all, and now they've been able to tear ahead on the CT side as well. And they're in a position to basically put this game away if they can win this next gun round here.
Tropa Taco. Yeah, I think you're spot on. This is make or break territory. You lose this. We're talking about them trying to fight for overtime. Not easy to do if you are 12-6 down, if this ends up being the case. So, a very, very important one for them. And BESTIA looking considerably stronger on this map than they did towards Ancient just a little bit earlier. Pank for a double to start things off. Isn't bad. VSM. You know, all he's sort of self-sustainable as he gets himself out into a sandwich. Naz is overlooked here in towards back triple. Hasn't been cleared and will get a shot. Well done. And he gets a second behind it too. You know, the support of Thomason.
Yeah.
It's really solid. Pank's double is what basically wins that round already. Because it just leaves TSM with way too much to do. And that's a rifle round that gets basically nothing.
Completely shell-shocked, right, as they push into the A-bomb side, 2 players down, and I think Nocta with the AWP found a quick kill there as well, and I love that Naz doesn't just immediately swing out from triple to try and finish off the job. He just bides his time, you know, he allows for his teammates to rotate across, who start to dump some utility from jungle and connector as well, and that means the T-sided players are focused a little bit more in that direction, so he can step out and effectively get both of those kills. And that means that BESTIA are 2 rounds away here from getting a couple points on the board in Season 49.
Wow. Second timeout used by the T side. Let's see where we're at now. We've got, a couple of Mac 10s, couple of Tech 9s. Fry's actually might just keep his money on Decades, have an open towards the next round, but he's actually going to join them. If they get a bomb plant, he should have enough funds for it. They don't, though. It actually could be a little weird, and you have to go towards the AK. Not that's the worst thing in the world, but obviously having somebody to kind of contest Noxy would be nice, especially for a bit of mid control. Molotov down. Is he going to set up for that Molotov into his top boxes? He doesn't need to fight here all too much and hope that his rifles can do well. And Pank gets another double to start things off. He has been so reliable, and he gets another half there as well. He'll eventually get the assist. So this was a very simple shutdown. We spoke about that bomb plant. There was never a chance.
Oh man, Tropa the Taco just wheel spinning on this T side right now. I mean, I don't actually recall a single round. I guess there was that one round that came down to the 1 versus 2 there from, was it Ponta who came through from the B bomb side and then, you know, got into the ladder room. Outside of that, Tropa the Taco have just been completely at sea on this T side. I mean, these rounds they've been losing haven't even been contestable really. 6 in a row so far, and it means that Tropa the Taco have to emulate that. They themselves have to win 6 in a row from here. Not having won a single round yet to force us into overtime. That's a very tall order.
This one feels done to me. I cannot see a world in which we get back into this. Spam in towards window, Naz. Like you say, alive. Damage down towards both Max and Taka, but it's VSM for the first. Regardless of what you say, VSM has kept up his ability. Alright, we're still alive. We've still got something brewing here.
Yeah, first time we're seeing a little bit of kickback here from Tropa the Taco. In the second half, ESM is going to probably mouse scroll jump there by accident, but it's not going to affect the outcome of the round at all. Good to see that Tropa the Taco don't go in a shell there. They stick to the game plan. Numbers just barreling out into middle and actually able to keep some good composure there, despite the fact there was a lot going on in middle. Even brave enough to fade through the smoke there was Max and Connector, which rewarded him with the kill. However, lots of money has been mustered up here by BESTIA, so no problem reinvesting in this round, and probably even enough to conjure up something in the next as well.
Okay. Get themselves afloat. 12-7. 5 in a row needed just for that overtime. Back in towards mid. One spotted in towards window as Farias will move back in towards Delpan. It's Farias for the first as well. Good work from him. Wants to fight more, but Naz will be there to rip his head clean off the shoulders. And Naz still staying alive is pretty important. He doesn't need to fight now, just get out.
I think that Farias actually just overplays his hand a little bit there with the repeat coming out. He could have just locked in that opening frag and then allowed for his teammates to just create the space for him to get out of there. Or Max in a... How's he gotten that kill with the spray? That's a little bit audacious. Probably a little bit lucky as well. Flash went way too deep. He was unimpeded being so far forward, and well, he's rewarded with the kill ultimately. Man, advantage now for Tropa the Taco as they venture in the opposite direction. Pank does have a very good position. I really like that he's taking control of Palace. Can be difficult to root him out of position. They don't have any mollies either.
Yes, Pike, as he starts to move his way forward, he's waiting for a swing out from jungle. This is a tough retake. We're pushing through. Honestly, getting one there is not bad for Luchov, but it won't make a difference in the round, you'd assume. Hang on. One more go down. Oh my god, and Pank nearly got VSM behind it. If he gets VSM, Max was in no man's land, so that round was on.
Yeah, absolutely, because he would have been able to just disappear somewhere completely different, and Pank wouldn't know where to try and clear out in that one versus what, the last man. Max wouldn't have known where Pank could have been at that point. Either way, 12-8. The fight back is alive right now for Tropa the Taco. They've won 2 of the 6 rounds required. 4 more left here. It's going to be another full buy at the disposal of Bestia, but no money after this. So 12-9 will become 12-10. This round's basically buy one, get one free if you're Tropa the Taco. And I know you love your meal deals.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm sure you're all about the special life.
Of course. You know me. Living it luxurious out here. Not sleep for the first.
You haven't seen one on Twitter for a while, by the way.
Yeah, I did one for the first time in literally like 6 months. But, you know, I'm trying to eat healthy. Okay. You know me. I'm trying to, you know,
fair enough.
change it up. You know,
2025, yeah.
Exactly. New year, new me. No, New Year, same me. But, you know, I'm changing up a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think also I'm just trying not to be as lazy. But it's going to be lazy from it's a lazy clear, actually, from Max. He just doesn't even consider close left. So Max falls for nothing. This game is feel like it's coming to its conclusion here. 3 remaining in a 5 versus 3, and with basically no damage dealt towards Bestia. This is a hard one to win for the T side.
And look at Luchov's position. He's pushed the entire way through Palace, by the way. And the CTs have smoked Palace off. So that's only going to make that Tropa de Taco think even more that Palace could be completely clear. At least there is a kill to open up this A bomb site. Thomason could be in trouble as well, dueling with the AK. Luchov is going to kill the bomb carrier, though. Oh, Luchov has spotted them both. He's going to kill the deep player, and he swings out, and he finishes off the job. Fantastic work from Luchov. He's rewarded for that brave push through Palace in the flank around ramp.
Brilliant work in the end. I think now, Hayes, maybe kind of in conclusion after the fact, we can probably come back and look at this and just talk about actually, maybe Ancient was just a bit of a blip. Maybe it's not a map in which they've kind of had too much kind of prac on, or maybe we can just give them the benefit of that and say it was just a slow start to the day, right? But that Mirage was much better. There was a lot to like in there, and that's more like it for Bestia, and that's the sort of result that we're actually expecting from this side too. I'm not sure what happened in towards Ancient, and I think it is just a blip on the radar, but this is a side that are gunning for kind of like a top 5 finish minimum of Bestia, and going 1 for 1 in the recovery, I think is okay.
Yeah, it feels like it was a slow start on Ancient, just not really hitting their shots. You know, going down 0-6 made it very tough to recover. They were at least competitive from there, but Mirage was a far better showing, and at least they're able to take some points away from this matchup as well, these back-to-back best of ones. As I think we're going to have a look at the Kadir player to watch right now, the Kadir man of the match perhaps, and see who we're going to highlight, or am I off the mark on that one? Am I getting ahead of myself, Neo?
Maybe a little bit, who knows? But, I mean...
Maybe a little, okay.
There is definitely a couple we could talk about, though, in particular. I mean, you know, for Bestia, there was a few ways to look about it. I actually liked what I saw out from Pank at times. I really thought, for me, some of the kind of, the individual plays, as much as he wasn't running away in the numbers, right? I just felt like there was kind of some of those moments where he felt great. We highlighted Taco today, and I also think Taco was very stable all the way throughout. He's a guy who I think stepped up when he was called upon. It obviously didn't end up working out too much in his favor, but Bestia are a hard team to break down. So for a mix with only a couple of months under their belt, I don't think it was a terrible showing by Taco by any means. If we're talking about just raw firepower on the team, though, I think it has to go to VSM, surely. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. I mean, VSM probably the pick of the bunch there from Tropa de Taco, but Tropa de Taco will just be content that they've been able to at least get some points out of this back-to-back best of 1 matchup with Bestia, because Bestia plays top 3, so Tropa last season, right? So they will be happy that they've been able to get something out of this affair, and try and build themselves going forward into the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly that. It was a very, very good display, I think, for Bestia in that second map, and if they can replicate that, I think a little bit kind of more long-term going forward, they're going to be pretty happy in the end. We have one more set of games to finish off the day. We've got North America coming up next. But for myself and Hayes, that is us done and dusted here for South America. It's been a pleasure to kickstart the season as well with a pretty fun game. And trading maps, it's a handshake all round. So thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
Think you've seen it all? With FACEIT Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive FACEIT points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, FACEIT.
Commuting to the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine. Why sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
I've been very lucky down here. Feeling better than I did up north.
Collars itching, face switching, another cup of joe and I'm fine. Come 5, I can burn a fresh dime. Lifting up the burdens, putting weight on my mind. Bet if I didn't chase that and embrace distractions, master my lack of faith and break through. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine. Why sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm holding out as I fight. I feel my colors wash away. Been finding my ground in the light of the hours I can claim. 'Cause in time I restore my complexion and find that I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine. Why sit around and waste your time? Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. 'Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love. I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, 'cause I got no problems. Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear the sound. Listen up. They're never gonna